Okay, so here we go. This is pretty much the extent of my experience with the web server, iis for Windows Server. This is Windows Server 2008. Basically, to start out, I did kind of do a pre-mock-up to make sure this was all going to work, so I know this works. Have my router configured to port forward port 80 to my static IP address assigned to the server here. So everything's configured on the router end. Now what we have to do here is I went into our server manager, went up to our roles. Currently the only role I have installed on this, just to isolate this this experiment, was the web server. I did add file services for FTP in case I had some issues uploading the video. I could use that as a resource as well. But that being said, I dropped down to my sites here. As you can see, there is, your header of information here. This would normally show your domain. Currently, right now, I don't have any domains set up, but if you can, or if you wanted to, you could set up your DNS server, and you could put all your domains and sites within those domains underneath that. So, but for right now, this is just kind of a simple how-to, I guess. If we drop down to application pools, you pretty much just have some different things that let you manage your application pools. And then you have your FTP sites associated with your sites. And here we go. So under sites, we're going to right click and we're going to add website. My site name is 802geek. Oops. And the physical path is the default path that they set for the server, which is the inet pub directory. In here you'll see a few different things, your logs, your history, a temporary folder, but you also see the FTP root, and then you see the www root. Www root is where we go, and that's where I currently have my web page fixed. Within www root, normally you can put in, your subcategory folders of different web pages. So in here, if you wanted to add, a new folder, that would be, say, you want your www1, and then you could add, and these are all just basically based off from, say, some future virtual hosts, and then you could do www2. But right now, in the root directory itself, I have my web page set up, so I'm just going to go ahead and point to the www root. And you can set some authentication settings here. I am going to bind it with HTTP. There's not going to be any SSL configurations to this, so we can go ahead and go past that. If there was, you could configure the virtual IP and port 443 if you were going to be setting that up. But here we go. So www.802geek.com. I also have this domain bot under GoDaddy and have it forward under the domain name manager there with an A record pointed to my public IP address on my router. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure Start Website Immediately is clicked OK. And there it is. It's in there. Normally, you'd have some sort of identifier in there, probably with, the site or the virtual host site that it was in, because right now it's, we've got our other, say, future virtual host directly under that, which doesn't quite make sense, but it, if I set it up a little different, it would. But right here, you pretty much have all your features for your website. All these different tools and like your CGI for maybe setting up databases and being able to handle other applications that aren't native to Windows. But for the most part, you can really take a look at your access logs. But that's pretty much the extent of what I know about information or the Internet Information Services, for what I knew before coming into this, basically. So there's a lot of good stuff in this chapter, but that's pretty much it. My website isn't very in depth. It's a simple CSS based template that I just put up and running, that I normally run on Apache. So this works well.